we're working with this very nice trainer, and I was going to try to get a picture of him lying at your feet, but that didn't work. So when do you see the doctor then?
Well, I don't have an appointment yet because all this happened Friday when it was too late to call that doctor. So I saw the physical therapist on Friday and we talked for a while, and so I can call the doctor on Monday, but I don't think he'll have an appointment late enough that I can get in either Mondays.
I've heard it, but what is it?
They're like little electrode pads that you put wherever the pain is or wherever the need is, and they go zzz, 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 and make you tingle.
Wait.
And kind of...
Tanner like that zzz. Noise.
Zzz. For dry needling, if it hurts in your arm, that's where they put it. And it does something to that muscle and helps it relax or change or do something. Well, hi there. I feel honored. And you're wet from dog spit. It said online that one of the reasons that cortisone, the needle itself, causing an irritation, and then your muscle does something different as a result of it, and that's sort of what dry needling does.
I'll be darned.
And I had never heard of the concept before.
Tanner.
For all this.
Tanner, please.
Goof. But Fred doesn't seem to mind.
No, they have their ways, and when something happens, they have their ways to work it out too. So, ooh, that's cuteness. They don't have too much love time. It's more like either chase time, and your shoulder is the most important thing in this moment. But I don't get much chance at this either, so that's fun.
Oh, and are you going to groom my hair for me? Is it Fred or is it Ginger that does this?
Usually that's Ginger, but apparently, so it looks like you got your hair cut about 10 minutes ago. By the way, when you reach to pet him, see what happens when you if you're able to come up from below his jaw instead of reaching over the top.
Because he won't flinch?
Yes. In the world of dogs, like with a strange dog in particular, or somebody else's dog, you would do that because it's even safer. But it's the general thing is it's a more of a comfortable approach for a dog. And I didn't have all that speech to go with it, but when we first got him, even though he was joined at the hip with me, if I would reach to pet him on top, he would flinch away, and then he would let me pet him. Well, I think you will be as studied up as any patient could be. Well, you have a big nose.
Well, the first time, at first when I broke my arm, I couldn't even sit and do the computer at all. But as I got more able to do some of that, and I did some of my research and all, I looked at the illustrations for shoulders, and Sue's had a frozen shoulder. I didn't know she had two frozen shoulders, but until we started talking about it more. But when you go into rotator cuff and all this stuff, then frozen shoulder is in there too. But I looked at all that stuff and looked at a lot of different sites, and the first time that I was in Dr. Body's office that he was talking about some muscle, and I named it, and he was like, whoa. And then I said, yeah, and then there's the infraspinatus, and then there's teres minor, and up here is a subscapularis. And he's like, nobody does that.
Mother always said you were the smart one.
But, nowadays, it's what anybody would do, except...
They couldn't pronounce it, and they couldn't remember it.
I think, he's not one of the typical sports PTs. He has a lot of little something using one of the machines where he hung onto a little rope. You know, that's exactly what I've been doing in physical therapy for 4.5 months. 3.5 months, I suppose. So how come you're doing it? You know, and he said, I don't really know. I don't know the muscles. I don't know anything. I'm just trying to, you know, make them look good. So he hadn't done any research at all. Except...
He probably saw somebody else doing that.
Yes. I mean, he had specific things he was doing to make... He knew where he wanted it to improve, but he hadn't done the research to see what it was. Whereas you really get into it, they're tuned into, you know, this one little thing does that one little part of the muscle, and it's amazing.
But I don't know, because he'll sometimes he will, when he's standing next to me, he will stand with his foot on my foot. So either he's...
Thanksgiving. What are we leaning towards?
We kept... Well, first of all...
Stuff every... I don't know how many feet on the other side of the road down your road.
Is it gravel? Or
it's like gravel and chunks of concrete or torn up stuff, but mostly gravel. And
well, if it's the gravel's left over from when they the last